Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Living Near Fort Eisenhower, where we explore what it's like to live here and help you learn more about the area. One of the most common questions I get from people who are relocating here is, what is the best school and what are the schools like? Well, today we're going to do a deep dive to help answer that question, so let's get into it. We have a lot to cover in this video, and it may seem a bit dry at times, but schools are obviously a super important factor for families to consider when they're moving here. So let's start with elementary schools. We're going to go through Columbia, Richmond, and Aiken County, as those are typically the most popular areas for people to live in when they're coming to this area. Of course, there's always private school and homeschool options as well, but we're not going to get into those areas in this video. Let's go ahead and start in Richmond County, which includes Augusta, Hephzibah, and Blythe. And as I said, we're going to start with the elementary schools first. There are 26 of them in Richmond County. So I tried to break it down into a somewhat digestible format, as there's just a ton of information available. If you see blanks, it's because some schools have limited data available or there were no ratings. Also keep in mind that as far as reviews go, some schools had 10 reviews, others only had 1, so it's a small sample size which could really influence the outcome. But anyways, the overall ratings according to greatschools.org in Richmond County range from 1 to 6, and they break down that rating into test score, academic progress, and equity ratings. And I've also included the student population size so you can get an idea of how big each school is, and that ranged from about 300 to 600 students. And the student-teacher ratio ranged from 13 to 20 students with an average of about 16. Reviews range from 1 to 5 stars. So let's take a closer look at the top few here so you can really narrow down your options. So we have 2 schools that are rated 6 out of 10, which are the top ones strictly based on their overall rating. So first is Lake Forest Hills Elementary, which is in Augusta. It has a student population of about 550 students and a student-teacher ratio of 15 to 1. One of its highlights is that it's an IB World School, which is a special designation that means that they focus on the child as an inquirer both in the classroom and the world outside. All children in the school take Spanish, art, and music. And they do offer a few extra programs like the Boys and Girls Club, Rise Augusta, and a YMCA after-school program. And then lastly, here are the demographics just for your reference. The second school that's also rated 6 out of 10 in Richmond County is Freedom Park, which is actually for grades K through 8. The student population is about 700 students and the student-teacher ratio is 15 to 1. It's actually located on Fort Eisenhower. Here's some of their extra programs like band, robotics, and cyber patriots. They also have drama club, beta club, and student council. And then here is a look at what their demographics look like. Okay, so let's look at Aiken County now, which is on the South Carolina side. It includes Aiken, North Augusta, Graniteville. There are 21 elementary schools. The overall ratings, according to greatschools.org, range from 2 to 7, and the student population ranged from about 300 to 700 students. The student-teacher ratio went from 12 to 17 students, and reviews were from 2 to 5 stars. So let's take a closer look at the top rated ones. There are 3 that are 7 out of 10. The first is Clearwater Elementary, which is on the east side of North Augusta. It has about 480 students and a 15 to 1 student ratio. It is a reading-focused school. They do offer some extra programs, including after-school care until 6 p.m., and they have extracurriculars like book club, chorus, and an art extravaganza. And then here is a look at their demographics. The next top-rated Aiken school is Mossy Creek Elementary, which is also 7 out of 10. It has about 650 students and a 15 to 1 student ratio. It is a math and literacy-focused school. They have several extracurricular activities like running club, yearbook, student council, and science club. And they also have after-school care as well. And here's a look at their demographics. The last highest rated elementary in Aiken County is Oakwood Windsor, which is located in Aiken. It's also 7 out of 10 and has about 400 students and a 14 to 1 student-teacher ratio. Some of their extracurricular activities are guitar club and yearbook. They also participate in a lot of extra events for the students like Boo Bash and Spring Carnival. And here's a snapshot of their demographics. All right, so let's jump over to Columbia County Elementary Schools. Here's where you'll find schools in Evans, Martinez, Grovetown, Appling, and Harlem. There are 17 in Columbia County, and the overall ratings are from 5 to 10. The student population ranges from about 400 to 1,000 students, and the student-teacher ratio ranged from 12 to 17 students. Reviews were between 1 and 5 stars. The highest rated school is River Ridge Elementary at 10 out of 10. This is in Evans. It has a student population of about 750 students and a 14-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Some highlights about the facilities are the outside learning classrooms, accessible playground equipment, and a computer lab. They have a ton of extra programs the students can be involved in. I mean, look at this list. There's a before and after school program, Horizons Gifted program, Safety Patrol, and Drama Club, just to name a few. And here is an overlook at their demographics as well. The next highest rated school is Martinez Elementary, which is 9 out of 10. It has a student population of about 675 students and a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They have a ton of extra programs as well, like the Horizons Gifted program, Nutrition program, and Student Leadership Committee, Safety Patrol, and Robotics Club, just to name a few. And here is a look at their demographics. And next we have North Columbia Elementary, which is in Appling. It's also rated 9 out of 10. It has about 450 students and a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They also have several extra programs like Data Analysis Team, Battle of the Books, a live morning news show, and an art club. And as far as demographics, here's what those look like. All right, so that was a recap of the elementary schools in Richmond, Aiken, and Columbia County, and highlights on the top-rated ones in each district. I hope you're still hanging in there because we are going to move on to the middle schools. We're going to start with Richmond County again. There are 8 schools plus the 3 K through 8 schools we mentioned earlier. So again, here's our big overview first, which includes their overall rating, which is based on their test score, academic progress, and equity ratings. And then we are also looking at student population size, student-teacher ratio, and their reviews. Ratings range from 2 to 6. The student population was from about 400 to 900 students, and the student-teacher ratio ranged from 14 to 19 students, and reviews ranged from 1 to 5 stars. Now, the highest rated school is Freedom Park at 6 out of 10, which we reviewed in the elementary section because it's actually a K through 8 school. It's located on Fort Eisenhower, so it's meant to serve the children of the military families. So we are going to look at the next highest rated school that would be available to those who live off post. So there are 3 that are rated at 3 out of 10. Unfortunately, those are the next highest ones. One of those is also a K through 8, so we are going to look at the 2 that are strictly middle schools. First is Langford, with about 700 students and an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They are an IB World School as well, which we mentioned earlier in the elementary section. Some of the extra programs they have are band, drumline, orchestra, and art. For athletics, they have track and field, golf, baseball, softball, cheerleading, basketball, and football. And here is a look at their demographics. The second school rated at 3 out of 10 is Tutt Middle School, which has a population of about 500 students and a student-teacher ratio of 16-to-1. Unfortunately, their website wasn't working entirely, so I wasn't able to verify what extra programs or clubs they have. But for athletics, they have football, softball, baseball, basketball, cheerleading, track, and golf. And here, again, is a look at their demographics. All right, let's move on to Aiken County now, where there are 12 middle schools. Ratings range from 3 to 7. There's a few that weren't rated, but the student population ranged from about 200 to 800 students, and the student-teacher ratio ranged from 14 to 20, at least for the ones that had that information available. And reviews range from 1.8 to 5 stars. So the highest rated school is at 7 out of 10, and it's a magnet school. Although it's a public school, it does require a specific application process and your own transportation. So we're going to leave that one out, and we'll look at the next highest rated one. So there are 2 that are rated 6 out of 10. The first is North Augusta Middle School. It has about 800 students and an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Their website says that they have over 35 extra programs or activities for the students. I couldn't find a whole list, but they do have band, beta club, music, orchestra, and yearbook. For athletics, they have volleyball, basketball, cheerleading, football, and golf. And apparently, students can try out for high school athletics beginning in 7th grade. And here is a look at their demographics. All right, the second school rated at 6 out of 10 is Paul Knox Middle School. It has about 700 students and a 19-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They offer a special thematic science program there. And some of the extra programs that they have are band and chorus. For athletics, they have cheerleading, football, basketball, golf, and volleyball. And this is a look at their demographics. Okay, let's finish off our review of middle schools with Columbia County. There are 8 middle schools. Ratings are from 5 to 8, so mostly above average there. The student population is from 600 to 1,100 students with a 16 to 19 student-teacher ratio. There are 2 schools rated at 8 out of 10, which are the highest, so we are going to look at those. First is Greenbrier, which has about 850 students and a 19-to-1 student-teacher ratio. It is in Evans. And funny story, we're from Northern Illinois, and when we first moved here, my husband was so shocked that there were so many Green Bay Packer fans here. Well, it turns out it is the same G, but around here that is for the Greenbrier Wolfpack. So back on track, they also have tons of clubs like Academic Bowl, Chess Club, Cyber Patriots, Gamers Club, Gardening Club, Step and Dance Team, lots of variety. They also have quite a bit to offer as far as athletics go, like football, cheerleading, softball, cross country, tennis, basketball, baseball, track, and soccer. For wrestling, volleyball, and lacrosse, the students can actually participate on the Greenbrier High School JV team. And lastly, let me show you what their demographics look like. All right, now the second school rated at 8 out of 10 is Riverside Middle. They have about 700 students and a 17-to-1 student-teacher ratio. It's also located in Evans, and here are some of their highlights, including some extra programs like art, music, technology, academic bowl, drama, and house council. For athletics, they have baseball, cheerleading, football, soccer, tennis, basketball, baseball, and track and field. And here is a look at their demographics. All right, so there is an overview of the middle schools for Richmond, Aiken, and Columbia County. And now we are going to move on to high schools. So we are starting with Richmond County. There are 8 schools. Again, we're not including the magnet or special schools. So ratings were from 1 to 2 with a population of about 600 to 1,000 students and a student-teacher ratio of 13 to 20 students. Reviews were between 2.4 and 5 stars. So the highest rated schools are actually only 2 out of 10. There are 3 of them. The first is Academy of Richmond County, which is in Augusta. It's also where the students from Fort Eisenhower are zoned for. It has a little over 1,000 students and an 18-to-1 student ratio. It does have an IB program, which we talked about earlier. And they also have several dual enrollment classes with Georgia Military College, Augusta University, and Augusta Technical College. And they have about a 91% graduation rate. They have some extracurriculars like Booster Club, National Honor Society, Marching Band, Rifle Team, and Yearbook. For athletics, they have baseball, basketball, and cross country, flag and regular football, golf, soccer, softball, swim, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and wrestling. And here is a look at their demographics. The next school that's 2 out of 10 is Cross Creek High, which has a little over 1,000 students as well, and a 19-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They have about an 86% graduation rate. Some of their extra programs are college prep courses, work-study programs, auto maintenance, banking, and cosmetology. And they offer similar athletics to the Academy of Richmond County, like football, volleyball, track, tennis, etc. But they do not have a flag football team. And lastly, we'll take a look at their demographics. Now, the last school rated at 2 out of 10, which again is the highest for Richmond County High School, is Westside. It has about 900 students and an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They have quite a few clubs available, like newspaper, tech, Bible club, and student council. They have all of the core athletic programs like baseball, basketball, flag and regular football, and swimming, just to name a few. And as always, here's a look at their demographics. Okay, moving on to Aiken County, where there are 7 high schools, not including their specialty schools. They range from 3 to 6 with a student population of about 300 to 1,600 students and a 9 to 19 student-teacher ratio. Ratings were from 1.5 to 5 stars. The highest rated one is North Augusta High, which is 6 out of 10. So we are going to take a look at that one. It has about 1,600 students and an 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio and an 88% graduation rate. It offers several AP and dual enrollment classes, as well as several extra programs like book club, cyber team, drum team, French club, and yoga and meditation. For athletics, they have cheer, football, tennis, golf, swimming, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, baseball, softball, track, and soccer. And lastly, here are their demographics. All right, are you still with me? We are moving on to the last section now, which is Columbia County. They have 5 high schools rated from 5 to 9 with about 1,200 to 2,100 students and a student-teacher ratio of 18 to 19 students. Reviews are from 2.5 to 3.5 stars. The overall highest rated school is Greenbrier in Evans at 9 out of 10. It has 1,700 students and a 19 to 1 student-teacher ratio. They have 23 AP courses and 7 career pathways and almost a 99% graduation rate. They have tons of extracurricular programs, as you can see, like the Black Student Union, fishing, Gamers Club, Key Club, and ROTC. They have all of the main athletic programs as well as esports. Not sure what that looks like. Lacrosse and fishing, and here are their demographics. And we're going to go over one more high school from Columbia County, and that's Lakeside at 8 out of 10. They have about 2,000 students and an 18 to 1 student-teacher ratio. They also offer AP classes and are a part of the IB program. They have several extra programs, some that you can see here, but they also have Astronomy Club, Buddy Club, Disc Golf, and Dead Poet Society. And in addition to the typical athletic programs, you also have bass fishing, dance, and lacrosse. And lastly, here are the demographics for Lakeside. All right, you made it. That is an entire overview of all of the elementary, middle, and high schools in Richmond, Aiken, and Columbia County, which again, those are the most popular school districts around the Fort Eisenhower area. We looked at their overall ratings, their stats, demographics, and extracurriculars. The overall highest rated schools, according to greatschools.org, in each category are River Ridge Elementary in Columbia County at 10 out of 10. For middle school, we had Greenbrier and Riverside at 8 out of 10 in Columbia County. And for high school, we had Greenbrier at 9 out of 10, also in Columbia County. Remember, we did not dive into the magnet or alternative school options, and of course, homeschooling is always an option as well. But I hope that helps you make a well-informed decision when you're relocating to this area. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to get more helpful videos on what it's like to live near Fort Eisenhower, and as always, feel free to reach out anytime. I'll see you in the next video.